San Salvador, the capital city of El Salvador, is a dynamic urban center known for its rich history, cultural significance, and challenging socio-economic landscape. The city serves as a political, cultural, and financial heart of the country, with a population of over 1.7 million people within the metropolitan area. Its history stretches back to the early 16th century when it was founded in 1525 by Spanish conquistadors. San Salvador has experienced a turbulent past marked by periods of violence, civil war, and political unrest, significantly shaping its present-day circumstances. Throughout the 20th century, El Salvador faced intense political instability, culminating in a brutal civil war that lasted from 1979 to 1992. This conflict had devastating consequences for the country, with thousands of lives lost, displacement of communities, and widespread poverty. The war also exacerbated social tensions, including significant divides between the wealthy elite and the impoverished majority, a theme that continues to influence the socio-political landscape of San Salvador. The aftermath of the Civil War saw efforts to rebuild and modernize the country, but these initiatives have been hampered by the proliferation of gang violence and organized crime. San Salvador, in particular, has struggled with high crime rates, largely attributed to powerful gangs such as MS-13 and Barrio 18. These criminal organizations have entrenched themselves in various parts of the city, contributing to a sense of insecurity and violence that permeates everyday life for many residents. As of recent reports, the city holds one of the highest murder rates globally, with 108 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants, a stark indication of the severity of the situation. Despite these challenges, San Salvador has made strides in urban development and economic growth. The city is home to numerous institutions of higher learning, such as the University of El Salvador, which plays a central role in shaping the country's intellectual and political future. The city's cultural scene is vibrant, with museums, theaters, and art galleries showcasing Salvadoran heritage and contemporary creativity. San Salvador is also known for its culinary offerings, which blend indigenous, Spanish, and other international influences, reflecting the city's multicultural identity. Economically, San Salvador is a hub for business and commerce. Many of the country's largest companies and financial institutions are based in the city, making it a central point for trade and economic activity in the region. The manufacturing, retail, and service sectors also contribute significantly to its economy, while tourism, though impacted by safety concerns, still attracts visitors interested in the city's historical landmarks and natural beauty. However, despite these advancements, the persistence of gang violence and high murder rates has cast a long shadow over the city. Efforts by the Salvadoran government, including increased policing and tougher security measures, have had limited success in curbing the violence. The complex web of social, economic, and political factors contributing to the rise of gangs remains a challenge for policymakers. The socio-economic divide in San Salvador is pronounced, with a stark contrast between the affluent neighborhoods and the impoverished areas where gangs hold significant influence. This disparity is visible in the city's infrastructure, where wealthier areas are often well-maintained, while poorer sections suffer from inadequate public services, limited access to education, and high unemployment rates. In recent years, the government of El Salvador has focused on initiatives aimed at improving the security situation in the capital. These initiatives include measures such as gang truces, military interventions, and partnerships with international organizations to combat organized crime. While some progress has been made, the underlying issues of poverty, lack of opportunities, and social inequality continue to fuel the cycle of violence. San Salvador's climate is tropical, characterized by a wet and dry season, with a wet season lasting from May to October. The city is also vulnerable to natural disasters, such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, due to its location within a seismically active region. These environmental challenges, coupled with the social and economic issues, create a complex landscape for residents and local authorities to navigate. Despite the difficulties it faces, San Salvador remains a city of resilience and hope for many of its residents. It is a place where communities continue to rebuild, innovate, and seek ways to overcome the challenges posed by violence and inequality. Its vibrant culture, strong community ties, and ongoing efforts to address its problems highlight the city's determination to create a better future for its people, even amid the many obstacles it confronts. As the city continues to grapple with its challenges, San Salvador also benefits from ongoing international attention and aid aimed at improving security and promoting sustainable development. Various non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and international agencies work in the city to support programs focused on youth development, education, and the prevention of gang violence. These programs aim to provide alternative to the lifestyle that gangs offer, such as vocational training, job placement services, and community-building initiatives designed to foster social cohesion and reduce crime. One of the most notable aspects of San Salvador's transformation efforts has been the rise of community-driven initiatives. In some neighborhoods, local leaders, activists, and residents have come together to tackle the roots of violence by strengthening social ties and creating safe spaces for young people. These grassroots movements often work in tandem with government initiatives, although they sometimes face challenges due to the entrenched nature of gang control in certain areas. Additionally, the local government has been increasingly involved in urban renewal projects designed to revitalize dilapidated neighborhoods and improve public infrastructure. These projects aim to address the systemic issues that contribute to the city's high crime rate, such as inadequate housing, poor sanitation, and lack of accessible health care. The urban renewal efforts also target the enhancement of public spaces, such as parks and cultural centers, as a means to improve quality of life and encourage social interaction. Tourism has also remained an important, though complex, part of San Salvador's economy. The city's historical landmarks, such as the National Palace and the Metropolitan Cathedral, attract visitors interested in the nation's past, particularly in relation to the Civil War and the legacy of Archbishop Oscar Romero, whose advocacy for the poor and marginalized during the war made him a martyr. In addition, San Salvador is located near natural wonders such as the San Salvador volcano, which offers hiking opportunities and a scenic view of the city. However, tourism has not fully recovered to pre-conflict levels due to security concerns. The reputation of El Salvador as one of the most dangerous countries in the world in terms of homicide rates has had a lasting impact on the tourism industry, with many international travelers opting for other destinations. Still, some foreign investors have expressed confidence in the country's long-term recovery potential and initiatives aimed at improving the image of the capital and ensuring tourists. Another important area for development is healthcare. Although the government has made strides in expanding access to healthcare services, there are still disparities in access to care, particularly for those in poorer areas of the city. San Salvador's healthcare system is under strain, and the COVID-19 pandemic underscored the urgent need for more robust infrastructure. However, the pandemic also highlighted the importance of resilience and adaptability in the face of crisis. In the aftermath, there has been renewed focus on improving public health systems, increasing vaccination rates, and addressing mental health issues, which have been exacerbated by the ongoing violence and economic hardship. Mental health services, in particular, are an often overlooked but crucial area that requires more attention as the population deals with the trauma of living in a city with such high levels of violence. San Salvador's educational landscape also remains a focal point for development. With many young people facing limited opportunities for employment or education, initiatives aimed at improving the quality of education, particularly in disadvantaged neighborhoods, are gaining importance. Expanding access to vocational training, STEM education, and English language learning will better equip the youth to compete in a rapidly changing global economy. While the government has made efforts to expand education opportunities, particularly through the introduction of free school programs and improved facilities, the persistent inequality in the education system remains a challenge. As such, education reform, including the inclusion of life skills, conflict resolution, and social responsibility programs, could help build a foundation for a new generation of Salvadorans who are better prepared to break free from the cycle of violence and poverty. Finally, the role of women in San Salvador's future cannot be underestimated. While gender inequality remains a significant issue in El Salvador, there are growing movements focused on empowering women and improving gender equality. Women's rights groups have been vocal in advocating for better protection against domestic violence, equal access to education and employment, and a stronger presence in political and economic decision-making. As women continue to make strides in education, business, and civil society, their contributions to the nation's development will be essential in creating a more balanced and just society. Empowering women not only benefits individual families, but can also have a profound impact on the broader community, helping to reduce poverty, improve education outcomes, and foster peace. In conclusion, while San Salvador faces numerous challenges, from gang violence to economic inequality, the city's capacity for growth, resilience, and innovation remains strong. By continuing to invest in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social programs, while simultaneously addressing the underlying issues of violence and inequality, San Salvador has a potential to transform itself into a safer, more prosperous, and inclusive urban center. The path forward will require cooperation from all sectors of society, including government, civil society, business, and international partners. If the people of San Salvador can continue to work together toward these goals, the city can ultimately build a brighter future for its residents and become a model for other cities in the region facing similar challenges. The journey may be long and fraught with difficulty, but with determination, innovation, and unity, San Salvador can emerge stronger, more peaceful, and more resilient than ever before. Leaders, local businesses, and international organizations are creating a more hopeful environment for long-term progress. One particularly promising development in recent years has been the rise of social enterprises and nonprofits that focus on tackling issues like violence, poverty, and education. Many of these initiatives are community-led, involving local residents in decision-making processes and helping to build trust between neighborhoods and government institutions. These organizations often act as intermediaries, bringing together residents, law enforcement, and policymakers in an effort to create solutions tailored to local needs. By focusing on collaboration and mutual respect, these efforts are beginning to chip away at the deep-rooted tensions that have often fueled the city's problems. In terms of security, although gang violence continues to pose a serious threat, San Salvador has seen a decrease in certain types of violent crime due to concerted efforts by law enforcement agencies. Specialized units are being created to deal with gang-related activity, and surveillance technology has been integrated into the city's security infrastructure. While these measures have had some success in areas with concentrated gang activity, the real challenge lies in maintaining lasting peace by addressing systemic social issues that underlie gang recruitment, such as lack of opportunities and disenfranchisement. Moreover, the emergence of new media, social platforms, and digital tools is offering San Salvador's younger generation an outlet for creativity and expression. These platforms not only provide an escape from the harsh realities many youth face, but also offer new avenues for economic participation, allowing young people to build businesses and connect with a wider world. This digital shift has led to the creation of online communities, which are becoming powerful spaces for advocacy and social change. Young Salvadorans are increasingly using social media to voice their concerns, advocate for reforms, and organize events that challenge the status quo. This shift in communication dynamics is opening new pathways for social mobilization, giving young people a chance to reshape the city's future. San Salvador also stands to benefit from regional and global trends toward greater integration and cooperation. As part of the Central American region, the city has access to growing trade and diplomatic ties, particularly through agreements like the Central America Free Trade Agreement, CAFTA. This international engagement, combined with strategic investments in infrastructure, could help San Salvador tap into new markets and attract foreign investment. Regional collaborations aimed at improving the security situation and fostering economic development are becoming more prominent, with countries in the region recognizing the importance of working together to overcome shared challenges. With these developments in mind, the outlook for San Salvador, while still complex, holds promise for the future. The resilience of its people and the city's ability to adapt to change may be its greatest strength. Although the city's murder rate remains a stark reminder of its difficulties, ongoing efforts to reduce violence, promote economic growth, and invest in education and healthcare are creating a foundation for a more prosperous and peaceful San Salvador. There are no easy fixes to the problems facing San Salvador, but the city is slowly finding ways to build a brighter future. Through a combination of grassroots movements, government reforms, international cooperation, and the growing potential of its youth, San Salvador may one day overcome its darkest chapters and emerge as a beacon of transformation in Central America. This ongoing journey toward peace, development, and prosperity will continue to shape the city's identity and its place on the global stage. As San Salvador continues to evolve, It is clear that the city's path forward will be shaped by its ability to foster social cohesion, strengthen its institutions, and promote a sense of unity among its diverse population. Addressing the deeply rooted issues of inequality and violence will require not only effective policy interventions, but also the collective will of the people to overcome decades of hardship and division. One area of significant potential for San Salvador lies in its ability to leverage its cultural heritage and history as a means of both healing and economic development. While the scars of civil conflict are still evident, there is growing recognition of the importance of preserving and promoting the city's cultural identity. San Salvador's historical landmarks, including the iconic Metropolitan Cathedral, the National Palace, and the memorial to Archbishop Oscar Romero, are becoming central elements in the country's tourism strategy. These sites serve as both symbols of resilience and reminders of the struggles that have shaped El Salvador's modern identity. As the country works to improve safety and attract more tourists, San Salvador's cultural tourism could become an important driver of economic growth, helping to diversify the local economy while fostering national pride. Furthermore, as the city grapples with its security challenges, urban planning and housing development will play an essential role in shaping the future of San Salvador. The expansion of informal settlements, coupled with rapid urbanization, has placed significant strain on the city's infrastructure. Poorly planned urban areas with limited access to public services often become hotspots for crime and gang activity. To address these issues, efforts are being made to develop more sustainable, inclusive, and well-connected neighborhoods. Smart urban planning that emphasizes community engagement, green spaces, and improved public transportation could help to improve living conditions for thousands of San Salvador's residents, while also contributing to crime reduction by fostering a sense of pride and ownership among the people. Safety ongoing. In terms of social development, El Salvador's youth population represents both a challenge and an opportunity for the future of San Salvador. With nearly half of the population under the age of 25, there is an urgent need to address youth unemployment, lack of education, and the risk of young people being recruited into gangs. The government and various organizations are working together to provide these young people with more opportunities, aiming to create a generation that is less susceptible to the allure of gang life. Cultural initiatives continue to be vital for building pride and unity within the city. San Salvador's cultural calendar is filled with festivals, music, and art exhibitions, often centered around the rich traditions of the Salvadoran people. These celebrations not only offer a respite from the daily struggles faced by many residents, but also create a sense of identity and resilience. Events such as the August Festival, which commemorates a patron saint of the city, attract both locals and visitors, fostering a sense of community spirit. San Salvador's infrastructure, though improving, still faces significant hurdles. Traffic congestion, inadequate public transportation, and limited access to reliable health care in certain areas are persistent issues. However, strides are being made to modernize the city's transportation network and expand access to public services. Investments in solar energy, water management, and waste disposal are part of broader environmental efforts to make the city more sustainable. As San Salvador moves into the future, its path forward will likely be determined by the balance between confronting the root causes of violence and creating long-term solutions for the city's economic and social development. While its murder rate remains a tragic reminder of the challenges at hand, the ongoing efforts to reform the justice system, reduce gang violence, and promote education and economic opportunities hold promise for improving the overall quality of life for residents. In this context, San Salvador represents both the struggles and the hopes of a nation in transition, constantly working toward a more secure and prosperous future for its citizens. The resilience of San Salvador's people continues to shine through as they work together to overcome the obstacles before them, driven by a sense of community, cultural pride, and the belief that change is possible, no matter how difficult the road may be. San Salvador's future will also heavily depend on continued political reform and the effective implementation of security strategies. Over the years, the Salvadoran government has shifted its approach to combating crime, attempting various tactics from heavy-handed military interventions to more community-focused methods. Recent administrations have increased investments in law enforcement, but the effectiveness of these measures has been mixed. While there has been some success in reducing specific types of crime, many experts agree that a more comprehensive, long-term strategy addressing the root causes of violence is essential. The social, economic, and institutional factors that lead to gang membership, such as poverty, lack of education, and insufficient job opportunities, must be tackled alongside efforts to increase policing and criminal justice reforms. The role of the international community remains crucial in this context. Foreign governments, especially from the United States, have provided aid and technical support for various programs aimed at strengthening the rule of law and improving economic conditions in the country. These partnerships help fund efforts to combat organized crime, improve public safety, and support economic development. However, international aid is often met with skepticism among some segments of the population who feel that external interventions have not always led to tangible improvements in their daily lives. In recent years, El Salvador's government has also explored more unconventional measures to address violence and economic challenges. For example, the country has experimented with innovative, albeit controversial, approaches to crime reduction, such as territorial control strategies where the government attempts to take back neighborhoods dominated by gangs. These initiatives are highly contested and have sparked debates over their effectiveness and human rights implications. At the same time, there is growing recognition within San Salvador that entrepreneurship and innovation could play a key role in the city's future. Startups, particularly in technology and digital services, have started to emerge, offering new opportunities for economic development and job creation. San Salvador's young population, many of whom are tech-savvy and entrepreneurial, is a promising asset in this context. Efforts to support small businesses in the tech ecosystem are gaining momentum, with initiatives aimed at providing young entrepreneurs with the necessary skills and resources to succeed. Such initiatives are crucial for reducing dependence on traditional industries and fostering a more diversified economy that can withstand the shocks of crime and instability. Education also remains a critical factor in shaping the future of San Salvador. Although there has been significant progress in expanding access to education in recent decades, there are still challenges related to the quality of education in poorer neighborhoods. Many schools lack sufficient resources, and overcrowded classrooms are a common issue. The government, alongside non-profit organizations, has been working to address these shortcomings by providing better educational infrastructure, increasing teacher training programs, and integrating technology into the curriculum. Education, in this sense, is seen as a vital tool in breaking the cycle of violence by offering young people an alternative path forward and preparing them for a rapidly changing job market. On the environmental front, San Salvador faces increasing challenges related to urbanization and climate change. As the city expands, there are concerns about deforestation, water scarcity, and waste management. To address these issues, local authorities and organizations have been working on projects aimed at promoting sustainability, such as encouraging the use of renewable energy, improving water management systems, and reducing the city's carbon footprint. These efforts are crucial for ensuring that San Salvador can meet the needs of its growing population without further damaging its environment. Despite the hurdles, San Salvador remains a city full of potential. Its cultural, historical, and natural resources, combined with the resilience and resourcefulness of its people, continue to make it a focal point in Central America. As the city navigates its complex challenges, its ability to adapt to changing circumstances will determine whether it can build a safer, more prosperous future for its residents. San Salvador's story, shaped by a mix of tragedy, resilience, and hope, is far from over, and its future will be defined by the collective efforts of its people to overcome the obstacles they face and make their city a place of opportunity and peace. As San Salvador moves forward, it will likely undergo significant transformations driven by the convergence of various factors: youth activism, social change, technological advancements, and a gradual shift toward a more diversified economy. The persistent presence of violence and insecurity remains a major challenge, but efforts by community,